Hello, hello! This is Lord Xenon, returning for part 9 of the ongoing saga of Willow, wherein we're going to continue the main quest. Good old Severin has returned. Good, Severin's come around. Okay, now they want me to go back to the Drowning Wench at Minza. I haven't decided yet whether I'm just going to continue doing live commentary on these or whether I'm going to record over like I did for the ones where I left the mic off. I'm going to try it both ways, see which one I like better, and go forward from there. As you can see, I've moved my things around, or icons around on my cross hotbar. This is a little more consistent with the way I have it on my main. Not quite how I have it on my main, but I don't have all the abilities I have on my main yet. That guy over there, the Smith, we'll be talking to him in due time, like about one time I get to level 15. Okay, I unlocked a new feature, specifically the inn room. And guild levs. Guild levs are basically mercenary jobs you can use to get resources and experience. They were fairly useful for leveling back in the 2.0 era. Now that the main quest is basically a fast track to 50, you're probably not going to do as many levs for your main combat classes, though they are extremely useful for leveling up crafters and fishers. If I decide to do any crafting, fishing, what am I saying? Crafters and gatherers, because my main gathering profession on my main is fishing. But if I decide to do any crafting or gathering, I will bring up the levs at that time. Let's do an item comparison. I definitely want the hood, because even though the defense stats are the same, I get +1 to intelligence for this, and I'm no longer getting the experience bonus because I'm above level 10. Yeah, you go, girl. And they'll give me the recommendations list every time I log on, which is not terribly useful. What is terribly useful is equipping things. So I'm going to equip the hood. Then I'm going to take a quick look at what she looks like with the hood. Pretty ridiculous. We're going to keep the hair. Now, as you can see, these little bars next to each individual piece of equipment, they represent the condition of the equipment. They do wear down as you take actions and have actions taken against you. Once their condition, their condition is not affected as they decrease. However, once the condition drops to 0, you will no longer receive any of the bonuses for that piece until you repair them. I'll take a look here. Okay, yeah, this will actually allow us to start taking levs in Swift Perch, which we visited earlier in the last video. I suppose I could run one of those to show you what those are all about. What the hey, I'll accept this quest. Meanwhile, I need to take on the main quest. Ooh, what sort of things do I have available to me? Level 10 gear. Okay. Okay, hi-ho, hi-ho, it's back to Middle Anasia we go. And it's going to be roughly in the same place that we ended Part 7 at. So I'm going to go via the gate. Now you may be asking yourself at this point, Lord Xenon, isn't this supposed to be an MMO? Aren't you supposed to be playing with other players? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Yes, eventually we're going to be doing quite a bit of content with other players, but that really doesn't start until you get to level 15. Oh, whoa, 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 cutting a wide berth around that guy. That, my friends, is a level 50 hunt, probably an A rank, because S ranks are tougher to draw out. He is hostile, so if he sees me, he will kill me. He's a level 50, meant to be taken on by a party of adventurers. That's what that little spiky red mark is. So, I need to not be seen by this guy. No, I'm not going to play that Fade either. Now, if I were playing as a level 50, I'd try to get a posse together and take him down, because the rewards are pretty decent for killing those guys. If I were a level 60, I might try soloing him. Some of them can be soloed as a level 60, but usually I try to get a party together, especially if people from my free company are actually playing and I spot one, and I will usually call out, hey, come join me here in Middle Anasia and kill this guy, and they usually will, because the rewards are pretty good. But that's a long way away before we can start talking about those kind of rewards, so we'll leave that for another time. And jump! There's the guy. Alright. Alright, I am going to take those nice level 10 caster pants. Why do I keep going to currency? Because on my main, I'm always checking my currency. Okay, while I'm here, I may as well do this just to have it ready here. Now that I have the ability to switch between multiple classes, I also have the ability to set up gear sets. This is very important because when you're switching classes, in order to do so, you switch your main weapon. Of course, if all of the equipment that you are wearing is not appropriate equipment for your new class, you'll just drop all of that into your armory chest and probably end up buck naked. That will then therefore require you to completely re-equip all of the pieces that you can equip one by one until you get the desired set of gear. That can be long and cumbersome. So instead what you do is you create gear sets. Gear sets are a complete saved set of gear for a particular configuration you want to use. You can update them as you play. I usually like to have one gear set for each class or job that I'm using. In this case, right now I don't have any gear sets because I haven't saved one yet, but I'm going to do so. I'm going into this menu, I'm going to hit that plus button, bam, Arcanist. And you see that little star figure there and a 7? That refers to my average item level. Your character has a level. Right now mine's 11, but your gear also has levels. For instance, this is an item level 8 item. Why didn't I need to equip my item level 10 weapon? That makes me think about. This is an item level 10, item level 6, and so on. Most of the low-level items will have an item level equal to the required level for that item. Like this can be equipped by all classes at level 10. It's an item level 10. Now these accessories that they gave you when you started are higher item levels than their level requirement for the specific purpose that I may not have mentioned earlier because I believe that audio was cut off. There were certain quests early on that required you to have a certain average item level in order for you to proceed. And back in the 2.0 era, you basically had to keep doing side quests to get all of the gear you needed so that you could then proceed with the main quest. In order to prevent you from having to do that, as the new expansions and new patches came out, they gave you this gear to automatically boost your item level to where it needed to be and raised the default item level on your starting gear. But for the most part, as you're leveling up, the item level of your gear will be equivalent to the item level, or to the required level to equip it, until you get up to 50. Then you're going to start seeing item levels grow ever higher while the actual class levels stay lower. For instance, my current main character, when I'm playing as a summoner, has an average item level of 270, but it's a level 60 character. So in the end game, you're mainly going to be not leveling your character, because you'll have your character up to max. You'll be leveling up your items, and your item level is what's going to be the main determining factor of how powerful you are. Now, when you set your items, every time you equip a new item, you can update your gear list by hitting triangle if you're playing with PlayStation, and clicking on the button that's underneath the triangle icon there if you're not using a controller. So I'm going to do that. So I've updated this with the gear that I am wearing right now to the gear set Arcanist item level 7. So now if I start playing as other classes, I'll be able to easily switch back to this particular set. So every time I equip a new item, I'll want to update this gear set so that I can always go back to the best available gear. Speaking of best available gear, in a recent patch they added this particular function, recommended gear, that you can click on, and it will give you the recommended gear for each slot. Now, the Moogle cap, it's recommending that, I think, because of the experience bonus, but no, because it has a higher item level. It has an item level of 11 compared to this item level of 10. But really, this is actually a better piece, because it gives me a couple stats that this one doesn't, and I no longer get the experience bonus, so I'm actually going to ignore that recommendation. For the most part, it's going to give you the best set, because it's going to give you the highest item level. But in late game and end game pieces, you may have two items of the same item level, but one is definitely better for your character, so don't always use this as the best recommendation when you're playing end game, but as you're leveling up, this is a good way to make sure that you're always equipped with the best gear. But again, this is a case where actually having the lower item level piece is actually better than having the higher item level piece, so I'm keeping that as is. Alright, after my long-winded explanation on gear, we're going to continue with the main quest. Okay, I'm delivering a couple of packages. These guys over here are non-hostile, so I'll just slip through the lines and talk to Singithuv. Now, I always found this particular area interesting. I mean, it's a nice little fortress area that you can't go past that door. That might have been a 1.0 area. In the extremely odd chance that somebody who actually played 1.0 is watching my video. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching this humble player's attempt to make a Let's Play. And then, after expressing my deepest gratitude, let me know if that area was a 1.0 area. Okay. The Wild Jackal aggroed. Carbuncle is going to start attacking it. I'm going to let it. Now, I got far enough away from Carbuncle that it phased out. So now the Jackal is chasing me, but is now out of range. But what that means is... Ooh, I could play this one. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna run. Well, should I play this one? Hey, you go away. This is a boss fight, but there's somebody else playing it. Let's do it. I said I wasn't going to, I know, but I'm going to. Jason Statham and his chocobos named Transporter. I love it. We'll get to chocobos later, too, because I can't have one yet. I'm probably not going to get much of a contribution on this, because I'm 3 levels too low for it, and this guy is a level 19. Probably synced to 19. Yeah, I only got silver on that. Still, 1200 XP is nothing to sneeze at. Okay, pro tip. We are very close to another region that we're not actually going to be visiting for a very long time in the game, but it's only a very short trip out of the way with, as you can see, absolutely no danger. To take a quick jaunt into eastern Lenasia and pick up another aetheryte while we're at it. Let me urge you very strongly, don't leave this town if you're only at level 11. The enemies in this area are, well, I think they're high 20s? I'll take a peek. I'll ignore my own advice. Just long enough to see an enemy. See an enemy. No, we're not in the ocean. Yeah, 32. Those guys would absolutely ruin me. So yeah, don't wander around out here. But what I did come here to do was that. Now I can fast travel here later on if I decide I need to. Because, yeah, there's going to be some main quest stuff going on here, but you're going to be well into the 30s level-wise before you start taking on challenges in this particular area. So much better when ether flow is on the right button. There is no right button to place ether flow on, but I've had ether flow on that button for a very long time, and it's just where I think it should be. That said, my button configuration may completely change when Stormblood comes out, as the word is, especially according to the recent live letter that came out yesterday, that there's going to be sweeping changes to the combat system, and my current configuration of buttons is probably going to be completely invalid when Stormblood launches. But until then, I'm going to summon Carby again. Summoning takes a very long time. Later on, when we start leveling up other class skills, we're going to cross-class the Swift Cast ability. Well, hopefully. They're getting rid of cross-class skills when Stormblood comes out, and I may not be that far in the game when Stormblood comes out. So who knows, if after I work my way through the Stormblood content and get back to this, the interface is completely changed, I will worry about that then. I'm going to get the new shoes. There's chatter in the chat log, probably regarding that hunt that I saw earlier. Oh, I already have a pair of Amishra's duckbills. Okay. Well, now I have another one. I'll sell them in the markets. Okay. We'll finish this quest, get over to Swift Perch, and then probably cut this video off. I'm going to stick to the road. No, I'm not going to stick to the road. Yeah, the chatter in the log is definitely about the A-rank hunt that I spotted earlier. Miasma first. Alright, that's one of those little purple things, so here comes enemy. Alright, so now I can take this to Swift Perch. We were in this area very briefly in the last video. Yay, Swift Perch! Jump the fence. That looks like an improvement. Let's take a look at the full item comparison. Yeah, I like that. It gives vitality. And vitality gives increased maximum HP. Take a look. 244, 252. Oh, and by the way, I leveled up. And I learned a new ability, Virus. Virus is a debuff. It's tooltip. It reduces the target's strength and dexterity by 15%, and then grants the target immunity to the same effect for 1 minute after the effect ends. There you have it. So it weakens your opponents. Okay, I am calling it a video for right now, and we will resume our, well, we'll probably do some lives. So, for now, this is Lord Xenon signing off for Violet Willow. Until next time.